With Chesapeake Bay gleaming in the distance, we are inside M&T Bank Stadium near the Inner Harbor in Baltimore, Maryland. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. They'll start on the ground here on first down. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
You talk about this Jets defense.
They were excellent a week ago in the win over Pittsburgh.
They forced 7 turnovers.
How many?
7. I mean, think about that number now. That's supposed to be a lucky number, right? Lucky for one side, unlucky for the other.
And here's a handoff out of the gun. And he'll scratch out a yard up to the 30, and that's all. This defense for the Jets, they were excellent a week ago in the win over Pittsburgh.
And that's not the half of it. They forced 7 turnovers in that game, and I know we always talk about turnovers coming in bunches once you force the first one. But 7? That seems almost impossible, but we watched it happen.
Now it's Jackson.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That gain on third down, good for 28.
And that's well executed there on third down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
The Ravens at 3-6 now on the year. They've lost 3 straight here. It kind of goes without saying, I guess, but they could certainly use a win.
Yeah, no doubt about that. There's a difference between a losing stretch and a losing streak. And right now, they're not playing their best football. But if they were to fall here, and now you're looking at going 4 games without a win, things can start compounding themselves pretty quickly from this point forward.
Room here to run. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
Just a simple tap pass, but it pays off in a big way.
And sometimes the simple stuff causes the most problems for a defense because there's a breakdown in communication there. When that receiver goes behind the line of scrimmage and it looks like he's going in motion, someone either has to go with him or he has to be passed off to another defender. Somehow they didn't get that communicated well, and it turned into a nice play.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom, quick, and what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Now a handoff up the middle. Henley. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
Throwing is Jackson. Hard throw, incomplete.
go put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. Tucker's kick is good, and the Ravens strike first at 3-zip. Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, it kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. First carry for Christian McCaffrey. He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4, 2nd down. You know, look at this Baltimore defense. They've been very good against the pass so far this year. Number 4 in the NFL right now.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5.
They'll motion the tight end across the formation. 2nd and 6. The short one there taken in by Ferguson. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give him 12 yards there, and the Jets have a first.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
On 1st down, this is McCaffrey. And good space to operate there as he takes this down inside the 35-yard line. Veteran running back like him, we've seen a lot of those chunk carries in his career.
And that's why you don't just look at his birth certificate and decide when a guy is done, right? Because you know as well as I do, in this league, as soon as you hit 30, they're looking to let you go if you're a running back. Sometimes there's a little tread left on the tires.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Knight. So the completion good for just 3. And it'll be 2nd down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook. Pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys? Coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night, guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
I think as he began this throw, you saw that the area was congested, but he has a lot of confidence in his arm, and he fits that one in there nicely. They pick up the catch, not much yardage afterwards.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. That is caught. And he is going to have a Jets first down as this defense unable to hold. It's a 7-yard gain there on 3rd and 2. Really a solid start here on the opening drive, Charles. He's now 4 of 4, and they're already in plus territory.
Brandon, he's been so precise to start this game, like we're watching an operation taking place right now. Master surgeon at work.
Now a give, right side McCaffrey. Even with that broken tackle, he'll be brought down short of the 15.
Oh, boy, Christian McCaffrey shaken up, so hold everything here as they're going to take a look at him. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. 2nd down and 8.
Up the middle they go. Connor. And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year.
And the Jets are able to answer the early 3 points and take a first quarter lead.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Now a crease here as he's past the 30.
And a stoppage here. We're going to need to take a moment as a Jet was shaken up on that one. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize, like going to the... You don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Now it's Jackson. He finds his man, complete. It's Hoover. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. What a play that turns out to be, 36 yards.
This is what made the West Coast offense a staple around the NFL in the 80s and 90s. You don't have to push the ball deep downfield to come up with big plays, and there's an example of that right there.
So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10, down at the 33. They'll try and run this one right up the gut. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early, because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
And they'll employ the jumbo set now on 2nd and 1. Algier going straight ahead.
And not much. Maybe a yard down at the 23.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
On 3rd and short to give to the tight end. Trying to barrel up in there, but I don't think he got it. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. Tucker's kick is good, and they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. Well, good start for him in this one here in the first quarter, and he's now 2 for 2 on field goals.
And I know while the offensive coaches are telling their guys, hey, let's leave the kicker out of it unless it's an extra point, this could pay dividends if this game is tight down the stretch. His confidence is going to be sky high if they need him for a big-time kick.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. As mentioned, this one of the hottest teams in the NFL, riding that winning streak into this one, but now playing here on Thursday night. Do you think that this helps or hurts their momentum?
Well, ordinarily, I'd say it hurts the momentum because now you get that short week. But when a team's playing as well as they are, it actually allows them to down focus and only worry about themselves and less about their opponent. So when you're playing well, you just worry about the things you're doing well and let the opponent deal with that.
Now back to throw. Finding his target, it's Trey McBride. His first catch, good for 8 and a first down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Goes right back to McBride. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. After one, a one-point game, 7-6. The Jets with the football here to start the second quarter, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Now a handoff up the middle. Connor, and he'll be taken down just shy of the red zone at the 21. A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely, pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Second and 3. His throw is going to be incomplete. Well, prior to that, he had hit his first 6 passes to start the game, so on a nice little run to begin.
It feels like this offense has carried its dress rehearsal into the game, you know, because you do practice it, you do go through it, and in this case, it is clicking exactly like they drew it up.
And they'll send the tight end in motion. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. He's got Wilson, and that's a Jets touchdown. A great play there with touchdown number 8 on the year, as his guys are able to extend their lead. And when the quarterback drops and has a guy that wide open in the end zone, his eyes have to get just as big as grapefruits.
Oh, without a doubt. This is the easiest throw you're going to get, and you're going to get the benefit of a touchdown on top of it. Make that throw.
Fairbairn now to add the extra point. And it's up. It's good. Our score, 14-6. The Jets kick team out now to boot this one away. And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They've probably got some adjustments to make because they've moved the football okay at times, but they haven't been able to get anything consistently going, have they?
What you worry about is it almost turns into a basketball game where one team's coming down and hitting threes, and you're coming back and getting twos, and you steadily lose ground. In this situation, you're talking about touchdowns to field goals. They want to put in the end zone and put those sixes on the board.
Yeah, they've been settling. That's why they're down on the scoreboard right now.
From the 31, here's a 2nd and 9.
To throw is Jackson. He finds his man, complete. That's Wagner. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and this will wind up being a 3rd and 3.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Jackson. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down.
Short yardage situation, you have to wonder if they thought that they were just going to run it inside. But you have to be cognizant of the back slipping out of the backfield trying to find some open space. And that's exactly what he does to the tune of a first down.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Yeah, they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. Here's Jackson to throw. Looking for Thomas, but that's intercepted. And the Jets are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
It's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept the pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
Getting in there for the tackle, Marcus Williams.
Nice chunk of yards on first down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on second. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
2nd down and 6 now.
Back to throw. Throw left side, complete. That's Allen. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Second and 10.
They'll look to throw here. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. And the incomplete pass on second down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. They'll set up to throw. That's going to be caught. And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. A great effort there. 30 yards. And the Jets go up by 2 touchdowns. On for the PAT, Kaimi Fairbairn. It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-6. The Jets kick team out now to boot this one away. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Now they're about to come up on drive number 4, but so far just 2 field goals on drives 1 through 3.
Wondering if the head coach has talked with his offense coordinator and said, look, let's go ahead and press this a little bit. I'm giving you 4 downs on just about every occasion to try and get this offense kick-started and have it culminate in touchdowns. You know, maybe something to press it a little bit. This might be the case.
Ball on the 30 as they come up, 2nd and 10.
Hands it off out of the gun.
And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
Now Jackson.
Oh, everything falling apart now. Another one intercepted.
So rare to see any quarterback toss back-to-back interceptions in the NFL, regardless of status or experience. Whether it's him personally or just the offensive game plan, I think this defense is reading something out there, and they're holding the upper hand.
On 1st down, Connor down right around the 25. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
From the 25, here's a 2nd down and 9.
They'll keep it on the ground. Connor.
What a great effort there. He's going to get this inside the 15, and they'll spot it at the 13-yard line. Nice run. 44 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
Interior of that line blocked really well on that run, but also the 2 tight ends, they blocked well too.
Not only have they scouted the line of scrimmage, with their agility, they can get upfield and hit moving targets like linebackers, defensive backs. They do a really good job helping out the running game.
They'll send a receiver here in motion right. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, they gave up a few yards there, but all in all, I think it's a pretty nice job defensively against the Jets sweep. If they don't slow him up, he might take it to the house, so they'll take that play every time on the defensive side of the ball.
And they'll run on the inside handoff.
And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there forcing a loss on that play.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. This will be caught at about the 6.
And he'll be taken down after a pickup of about 7 as the clock will stop here for the 2-minute warning. Kaimi Fairbairn for the field goal try. From the right hash here, should be an easy one.
The kick by Fairbairn is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see an offense and a defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they had the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started. So, the offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
Now a pause, and there's an injured Raven in need of some assistance. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Jackson.
He finds his man, complete. It's Wagner.
So the completion good for 6 yards, and it's second down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half.
From the gun, Jackson. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on second down. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he won't get close. Only a yard, 4th and 3.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
Now the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. Jackson now. He's got his target. That's complete. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Zay Flowers as the first half is winding down. And the Ravens are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And that makes it 24-13.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback. And we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Already enjoying a 2-score lead here late in the second quarter. Not a ton of time left. We'll see if they can work this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 to add on even more to their lead.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. And now this is intercepted. My goodness.
Picked up by Trayvon Diggs.
Well, he's certainly not been afraid to take some chances downfield. Now, look, it's paid off for him a couple of times. That time, not so fortunate.
And that's where I want to start, what you said. It's paid off a couple of times. So his aggressiveness has been good for his offense for the most part. So he throws an interception there. No one likes that, but I would not rein him back in. The return on investment thus far has been pretty good. 2 touchdowns to 1 interception.
After the interception, here's Jackson. This is caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. A great play there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Ravens have cut it back within a score. Tucker with the extra point. And the lead is down to 4. So with 3 seconds remaining in the half, they will line up to kick this one away. And he's going to be stopped cold. Good coverage there by the kick team to bring that return to an abrupt halt.
So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin.
Both these offenses have been in fine form. What will the second half bring us as we are underway in quarter 3? And no return forthcoming. It'll be a touchback. And the third quarter will start from the 30. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now. But let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here.
As expected, he's gone to him several times in this game, but that's the first time one has slipped from his grasp. I bet he goes back to him, though. He's an excellent player.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. They'll drop the throw. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. They push him back 8 yards that time on 2nd down. This defense coming out after the half, and if that plays any indicator, Charles, maybe a little refreshed and refocused here for quarters 3 and 4.
Yeah, they did really well on that one. That's exactly what they need to keep doing if they want to change their fortunes in this game.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Gonna look deep for Wilson. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
2 things you can do in that situation: run and punt the football, or try and take your shot at getting the first down. They chose the latter, but they'll have to punt all the same.
Well, not good at all. Punt of just 24 yards there. And the Ravens set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. Now Jackson taps this forward, jet sweep. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It was T.J. Edwards who brought him down. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
Ball on the 36 now. Here's a 2nd and 5. Here's Jackson. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. A 5-yard pass on 1st down and another 5-yard connection there. The start for them near flawless. Defense gets them a 3 and out. 2 quick pass connections on offense.
So that's how a team works together. Just what you described. Get them the ball, give them a little momentum, and they're capitalizing off of that. Thanks a lot, guys.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he's got it down to the 28.
I have to think a major focus at the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
This is certainly a team that has proven it likes to target its backs through the air, and defensively, they were aware of that and certainly were prepared on that throw.
Waste of time.
They got to get to the 20 to keep the drive alive on third down. Looking to throw. Jackson. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And this defense rallies, and they stop him short of the first down right near the 24. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now fourth down. And the 38-year-old vet able to split the uprights, and that'll bring him back within a point. So that one is his third of the game. Now, if you're wondering, that's only halfway to his career high, as he once had 6 field goals.
Brandon, 6? Let's hope we don't get that again, please. Can we see a few touchdowns here and there?
That'd be nice. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And good running there as he'll take this all the way up to midfield. 10 yards is the pickup, good enough for a Jet first down. We often give credit to the O-line there. 2 tight end formation. Those tight ends block pretty well also.
Yeah, and that's one of the most dynamic positions in football now. The tight ends who can block at the line of scrimmage at the point of attack, and they can also get downfield and catch the football.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Knight. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 33 yards that time.
We have seen big plays from both quarterbacks throughout this game, and there's another one right there. Going back and forth, almost like 2 excellent guitar soloists trying to top each other with each additional play.
McCaffrey on the toss right. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let them outside where they can really shred your defense.
2nd and 6. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Now, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. He'll look to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And the Jets are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is,
to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. Looking to throw. He's got Wilson, and that's a Jets touchdown.
A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year.
And the Jets are able to extend their lead.
Fairbairn good with the extra point, and the lead is up to 8. The Jets kick team out now to boot this one away.
And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that. They weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. They work now on 2nd and 9.
Throwing is Jackson. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. The Raven passing game getting in sync, another 1st down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there, 2nd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
The ball resting on the 20. Here's 2nd and 6.
Now it's Jackson. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
I can assure you, setting up a screen is much more difficult than it appears. It requires excellent timing from everyone on the offense, and a defense's #1 goal is to throw that timing off.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. From the gun, it's Jackson.
That one into the hands of Flowers. And he will have a Ravens 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I don't care how many times we say it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree and pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
Up the middle they go.
Henley
Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Second and 4. They could still get a first down without scoring.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now in Baltimore. It's the Ravens with possession of the football, but trailing on the big board as we get set for the 4th. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've converted a 1/3 of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 4.
From the gun, he'll hand this off.
And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
Brings up 4th down and less than a yard.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Here we go. It's Jackson on 4th down. Touchdown! From 3 yards out.
And the Ravens have a chance to tie things up as they trail by 2 here in the 4th. So part 1 of what they needed is done. They get in the end zone. Now you have to imagine we'll see a try for 2.
And that's what the book says, but defensively, they can't hang their head right here. They still got a chance to come out with the lead if they make a play.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. This has been whittled down to a 1-point game now, and things are really starting to avalanche against them. What's the message here before the first snap offensively?
Well, the message is you want your team to be smart, but you don't want your team to be tight. And that's where they are right now. Remember, still up 1. So let's go out there, execute our offense, execute the game plan, and the goal is make that 1-point lead at least a 7-point lead at the end of this drive.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. And it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
And he'll work down inside the 45.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Here's a 2nd and 7. And a quick throw here that's complete. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a first down.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on 1st and 2nd downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. In motion goes the tight end. On first down, he'll drop to throw. Got a man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jets.
Trey McBride, 31 yards. And the Jets will add to their fourth quarter lead.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that will ensure that it will take a touchdown and a two-point conversion to tie it. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. There's still plenty of time here in the fourth quarter. Just a one-possession game, down 8. They'll be looking for the touchdown and two-point conversion. A field goal here on this drive does very little at this stage.
First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
And that's a much-needed first down right there. Look, they're down by 8. So logic says they don't have to get a touchdown out of this drive. But the way things are going, I don't know if I'd put it in the hands of my defense here. You might not get the ball back at all. So if a fourth down situation comes up, I'm thinking hard about going for it right here and right now.
A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
Well, he leads the NFL in interceptions and nearly added to that total.
Got his hand on it, couldn't quite corral it. It's been a Pro Bowl-type season for him, and the term ball hawk really comes into play, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like that one a lot because teams want to avoid that type of a player, but sometimes you just can't. He just knows where the ball is.
And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a third down. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on third down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
And now on third down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first. Now it's Jackson. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 34-yard line. The third down conversion successful. A gain of 11. From the 34 now, here's first and 10. To throw is Jackson. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. He got 29 yards that time.
And when you have success throwing the football, the old cliche becomes true. The playbook opens up wide, and these screen passes, they become even more difficult to stop.
First and goal, a touchdown and a two-point conversion here are musts. Now receiver in motion left.
He'll get an opportunity with it on the touch pass.
And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. They give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a second and goal.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on it before he could get much out of it.
Second and goal from the 1. They're going to go with a tight end here on the running play. And he tries to power forward, but he will not get back to the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. Jackson. Oh, and for the 3rd time, Jackson going to be intercepted. And the Jets are going to take over once again, and they'll have it at their own 8-yard line.
I'm not sure I'm absolutely crazy about that play call there. I mean, it's only a one-score game, so is it really time to go bombs away and try and make a big play? I think you can take some underneath stuff and still move it downfield.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Another important 4th quarter series coming up. That last INT helping to maintain their slim advantage. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
They'll send the big tight end in motion right. He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Just because you've got the lead in the 4th, it doesn't mean you have to play it safe. I like the aggressive play call there to push it downfield. That time, it didn't work out.
In motion, the tight end. They're going to look to throw. Over the middle and complete to Wilson. And he is going to have a Jets 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on 3rd down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
Thanks to that last play, a little more room to operate. 1st and 10 at the 18. They'll try and burn some clock now with McCaffrey. And he roams across the 20 to the 24-yard line. 49 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. Well, at this stage, that's exactly what you want offensively. Good run on 1st down, stay in bounds, keep that clock rolling.
And look at that play chart that the play caller has in his hands right now. That's what you got to focus in on, because that's divided up by sections. And right now, he's looking at that 4-minute offense section. What running plays do we have to bleed down the clock and take care of the football? Right now, they're executing really well.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. From the shotgun to McCaffrey. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. After that run, still a good amount of meat on the bone here for this 3rd down play. Can you envision them putting this in the air?
Totally. I mean, look at who he has under center right now. If you can't trust him with the football, you can't trust anyone. And frankly, to me, I want the ball down the stretch. Get the 1st down, keep it in the hands of my offense. I don't want to turn it over to them and rely on my D.
Going up top. And that will be incomplete. They weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Here's Ryan Stonehouse now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return, and the Ravens will get it. 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. Here's 1st and 10. Throwing, Jackson.
He finds his man, complete. It's Hoover. And he is going to lose yardage here.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here.
They'll come up now on 2nd down. Jackson to throw. Oh, and that's going to sabotage their comeback plans. It is intercepted. Well, this game has not been short on intrigue, but that's the backbreaker right there, and it's going to put any hope of victory to bed.
Yeah, they knew they needed the touchdown, and when you have that little time remaining, they know they've got no choice except to go for broke, and that they did. But the interception, that means defeat.
We've got to have two hands on the football here as they run on 1st down.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Good gain there on 1st down. It keeps them in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. So it's a victory here for the New York Jets, and they've got to feel good about this performance. I think you'd agree, matched up against a top 5 defensive unit in the league, and they pretty much had their way.
Yeah, that was the interesting part about it, because normally when we see this defense play, they have their opportunities and they make their plays, don't they? They knock them back on their heels. They take the ball away. They change field position. In this case, what you said is so apt. They had their way with them, took it to them, and knocked them back on their heels and surprised the heck out of them.
So for the Jets, they continue to put themselves in position for a first-round bye as they move to 8-2. And now they'll get the weekend off as they get a little extra time to prepare to face the Arizona Cardinals. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, they're going the wrong way as this will drop them to 3-7 now on the year. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head to Dallas to take on the Cowboys. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.